Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as my friends over at Michaels.com. This is an exclusive pattern found available on Michaels.com, and this is called Tiles for Miles, and this is used in the brand new baby Caron Baby Cakes. Love this thing. This actually looks like a fake photo. It looks so good. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how to do the stitch work for this, and then we're just going to do a nice quick border. The nice thing about it is that the instructions are really quite easy to remember, and there's also a stitch diagram involved. So let me take you a look at the instructions. This video has sound alerts added. When you hear this sound, it will be your signal that the segment is finishing up. Press stop and crochet the instructions, and then press play again to continue along in your project. So here's a copy of the instructions that you see, and this is available through Michaels.com, and it's just a matter of just being able to figure it all out as you're going, but we're going to be able to do that here on camera. So it's really quite an easy pattern. It's a repeating of a certain 2 rows as we go, and there's also a diagram, and we're going to pay attention to that diagram more. Now if you'd like to change the size of your blanket and make it even bigger, it's going to change the amount of yarn you're going to use, but you can use this same pattern for larger sizes. The multiple for stitch counts are multiples of 4 plus 1. So I'll explain that in just a moment. Let's pull up the diagram. So this diagram is available on Michaels.com. It comes with that as well, and you would have seen that in the pattern with those red clickable links. So what we're going to do is that we're going to start off in the very base here and do our chain, and then we're going to come across the top here with single crochets, and then we're going to just move forward. Just remember the colors are just subjective. It's just showing you the row. It doesn't mean that you're changing colors. Let the yarn do the work when it comes to this. The Caron Baby Cakes changes color on its own, and that's what you're seeing within the photograph. So if you'd like to change this size, it's multiples of 4 plus 1, and it's really quite simple to follow. I have a sample already made just to show you what it looks like. It's just a small sample, and then we're going to get going and show you how to do the stitch work after that. So here's a smaller sample that I did using Caron Cakes, and you can see that the yarn changed on its own, and because of this design it actually looks really neat. So when it changes when you're doing this smaller rows here, it almost looks like the whole thing was meant to be. It's just absolutely fabulous, and it could change midway through one of these big treble tiles as well. So all of the tiles line up on top of each other just like you see, so it's no fuss on being able to make sure that they shift back and forth. There's 2 rows. You got the trebles, and then you got this row that you want to do with half doubles and chain 2 spaces that you're going to be making. So it's actually really an easy pattern. I'm going to do a very small swatch with you. You're going to need a 5mm size H crochet hook today, and it takes baby Caron Cakes in order to do this, and I'm going to just do a quick sample. So it says you need 5 balls of Caron Baby Cakes if you would like to do the size here, and it ends up being a 40-inch square as well, so that's kind of neat too. It's a nice fair size for a baby. So on camera today I'm going to do a very small sample, and then I'm just going to show you how to do it. It's that simple. So we're going to begin with a slip knot, and remember, if you want to do a smaller swatch size or just a bigger or smaller afghan or blanket, it's multiples of 4 plus 1. That is how you do it. So if you would like to follow exactly what you want and get it right exactly what you see in the photograph, it's chain 133. So just chain 133 if that's what you want. Anybody else, if you want to change your size, just go in multiples of 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Is it big enough? Yes or no? If not, keep on going. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Big enough? Yes or no? 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then once you're satisfied with the length, I'm just going to do a small swatch because that's all it's needed. You're just going to add 1 more in order to bring it into balance. So either chain 133 or just do your multiples of 4 and then add 1 at the end. Let's move along to row number 1. So row number 1, no matter what size you're working on today, you're going to go second chain from the hook. So 1 and get the second, so just turn it to get the back loop only, and I want you to put in a single crochet in the second one, and I want you to single crochet in each one of the chains in the back loop all the way across your chain. So it doesn't matter the size of your chain, 1 single crochet in each, and I'll see you at the end of your chain. So we're now finished row number 1. We're going to turn our work and go for row number 2. Row number 2 is only ever done 1 time. It's not part of the repeat pattern. So but I got to get you to establish the repeat pattern, and we got to do this in order to do that. So chain up 1, and right in the same one that you're in, you're going to single crochet, and then here's the thing on this one. Chain 2, skip 2, 1 and 2, and go to the 3rd one over and single crochet. So single crochet that one plus the next one. So there will be 2 single crochets in a row, and then chain 2, skip 2, and 2 single crochets in a row. And you're going to do that all the way across no matter what size you have. So once you get your 2 in here, you're just gonna go right to the very edge. So the very edge one is going to be chain 2, and you only have 3 stitches left. So 1, 2 and 3, go to the third one anyway. It's your last one, and that is just 1 single crochet by itself. So on the edges there's only 1 single crochets that sit by themselves, and in the middles there'll all be 2 sitting in pairs. Let's begin row number 3, and this is part of the repeat. So let's turn our work and do row number 3. This is part of the repeat pattern now, and you'll have to do this every other row until you get to the size that you want. So to begin, we're going to chain up 3, which counts as a double crochet, and then we just move to our first chain 2 space, and you're going to treble. So you're gonna wrap the hook twice and then treble into that one a total of 4 times. So each chain 2 space is always gonna have 4 trebles. It's an easy number to remember. So you just keep adding your trebles in. Remember, you're wrapping your hook twice for a treble, so it's not a double, it's a treble. And then once you get that done, you have your 4 there, and then you immediately jump to the next chain 2 space and start putting in 4 into that one. So there's nothing in between these. But the neat thing about it is that in the next row that we're about to do, which is part of your repeat, is that you're playing within the spaces between these groups of 4, and I'll explain that in just a moment. So I want you to just to put in 4 trebles into each chain 2 space all the way across, and then when you come to your final one that I'm about to do, you're gonna put in 4 into the final one as you normally would have done. And then once you get your 4 in there, remember how we chained 3 to begin? Well, that wasn't inside that chain 2 space, right? It's sitting on its own, so you have to double crochet into the final single crochet here. Okay, and it is a double crochet. It pulls it down just like that. So that was row number 3, and you'll repeat that over and over and over. So you'll repeat 3 and 4 actually. So let's turn our work and do row number 4. So row number 4 is kind of like easy row. So for number 4, we're going to chain up 1, and we're gonna put a single crochet into the top of the first double crochet that you had started with. And I want you to split that double crochet apart from the group of 4, and I want you to go right into the space right where my finger's popping out, and I want you to put in a half double crochet there. Don't forget to do that. You gotta keep the balance. So now you're going to chain up 2, and then you're just gonna split and go in between the 2 groups of the 4s, and you're gonna half double crochet twice. Just like that. And then chain 2, and then split the next one. Okay, so you're gonna do that all the way across on your pattern. And then when you get to the very final edge that you're gonna hit, you're gonna chain 2, and you're going to put in your half double crochet between the group of 4 and the last one that you had here. So just go right in there, right into the space, half double crochet, and then you need to finish this off with doing a single crochet right in the turning chain. Don't go into a space, go into the turning chain with a single crochet. So I'm going right into the chain itself, and that'll hold it there, and then you just finish it off. So then you turn your work and you repeat row number 3 all over again, which is this whole tile work, right? So to begin again, you chain up 3, counts as a double crochet, and then all you just have to do then is come into this next chain 2 space, and you're going to treble 4 times. So I'm gonna speed up a little bit because it's just an easy repeat pattern going back and forth. When you look at instructions, it looks a lot more daunting than it really is. So you get your 4 in there, you come to your next chain 2 space, you're gonna put another 4 in the next one, 4 trebles. Just like that. And then do your final one once you get to the other side. So just keep moving along. You do your final one right to the edge. And what are we gonna do right at the very end? We are gonna put in a double crochet in the last single crochet that you had. Okay, so right in the last single crochet, I want you to double crochet right in there. So that was row number 3 again. So you turn your work and do row number 4, which is this whole half double crochet business, right? So chain up 1, a single crochet in the very first one, split the first 2. Okay, so see the group of 4, you split the first one out, put in a half double crochet right in that space, chain 2, and then just jump to the next space. So what you need to do is just repeat these 2 rows over and over and over, and you need to finish off on the row that I'm doing right now. Okay, so it'll be the row the last time you ever do this row or project, you were going to finish off doing the row that I'm showing you. So when you get to the edge, don't forget you're going to put in a half double crochet right in that space, and then you're going to single crochet right into the turning chain right there. Okay, so then that's where you need to finish, and then what we're going to do then is that I'm going to show you how to do the border from this point, because this is where you're going to do it from here. So without further ado, let me show you how to do that next. So I'm about to start. I just finished here. Okay, so we're gonna turn our work, and this is the right side of the project. I can tell by these double crochets or these trebles the way that they're sitting up. See here, they look different. So you'll notice that on the project as well. Let me show you the other sample here. See, this is the right side of the project and this is the wrong side. See the difference of the look? Okay, it looks more cleaner on this side. This is the right side. So what we have here is that we're going to start up with our edging. So we're going to chain up 1 and we're gonna put in a single crochet right in the very first one, and then we're gonna put in a single crochet right in the top of the half double crochet, and then we're gonna put a single crochet a total of 2 times in this chain 2 space, and then the next single half double crochets will each get a single crochet. So you're gonna work your way down the one edge, just filling in the space. So 2 singles here, 1 in each of the half doubles, and so on. That's all you just have to do for this particular edge. Nice and simple. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn our work and work down the side of the project. That's always the most kind of hardest of anything. So don't forget, you still have 2 stitches. You have a half double that you had, and then you had your single. And in the single one here, what we need to do is that we need to place a total of 3 singles. So I've already got 1 in there, so you do it again, single, and you do it again a 3rd time. So there's 3 in a row. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna work our way down the edge as we go. So there's only 1 revolution of the edging. Actually there's 2. Sorry about that. So what we have is that we're going to just work our way down the side of this. So the edging is actually really quite simple, is that there's nothing you need to worry about as far as attaching anything crazy to it. So you can just eye it up and make it look good as you're working your way down, and just look at on the sheet on how many single crochets that they put into spaces so that you can actually see how it all worked out as well. So use that diagram to help you to be able to follow along as you go. Remember, these are trebles, so they're extra longer than usual, and then you're just working your way down all the way to the base. On the base you're gonna be turning, so you just put in 3 single crochets again, and then you're just gonna work your way across. Okay, and this is the base, so it's just 1 single crochet in each single crochet going across. So do you get how to do that? Isn't that nice and easy? So there's a total of 2 rounds for your border. So this is round number 1. So you work your way all the way across. Then your very final one you're gonna put in 3 so that you can efficiently turn, and then work your way up the other side. So just again eyeing it out, making it look good. Just take your time. Don't rush the process, because you'll pay the price, because if it's not sitting flat at this point, it won't sit flat in the next round that you're going to do. So my experience just has me eyeing these up, but just based on, you know, years and years of crochet. So you have to look for key concepts in order for you to do it right. So, and what I mean by that is that you just use your experience. So once you get all the way back to the top, then what you're just going to do, I'm not quite there yet, I still got a couple more to go. And what I gotta do is that we started off right in the very beginning, so we just have to finish it off by just putting in 2 more double crochet or 2 more single crochets, and then just slip stitch it to the beginning one just like that. So then you have that, and that's what it looks like. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm going to get you started on the second round, which is the final. So the very final is that we're gonna chain up one, and we're just gonna put one single crochet in each of the single crochets all the way around. In the middle one of the groups of 3 in the corners, you're going to put in 3 single crochets to allow that blanket to sit flat. And hopefully you've taken your time when you've gone all the way around to make it look great. Okay, and then you just go to the middle one of the group of 3 and just put in 3 in there. So 1, 2 and 3, and then just keep on moving. Okay, so you can officially turn that corner and it can continue to look good just like you see it. So what I'll do is I'll meet you at the end of this, so make sure the middle one of the 3s all have 3 single crochets as you come all the way around, and I'll see you at the end of this round. So as I'm coming all the way back around, remember that I never started right off in the corner, so I still have my group here, and so I want to make sure that I get my 3 single crochets right into the corner so that I can turn that effectively. And then I'm just gonna do one more here and then slip stitch it to the top of the beginning. So you're gonna want to use a darning needle. I'm gonna show you how to do that next as we begin. So you just trim your yarn, and any loose ends that you have, you want to be able to get rid of those. It is for baby after all, so you want to be conscientious of that. So what we're gonna do is that we're going to grab a darning needle, and I'm gonna show you how to weave in these ends. Okay, so let's put the end onto the darning needle. Okay, so here we go. So turn it to the back side, and I want you to glide the needle through the fibers. If you see the needle popping out through the front side, you're too deep. So just keep it towards the back and just drag it nice and gently through the back side, and then go back in the other direction. So this will be the second pass, and then just drag it back the other direction for 3. So back and forth 3 times is a charm. Again, keep into the back side of the project, and then you can just trim it right down to the wick of the project, and you may need to do that with the starting tail just like you see here. That's already a knot, so you don't have to be too crazy about that, but back and forth 3 times is a charm on that as well, and just again gliding it through the back of the work. Again, I do not want to see this needle popping through the front. Now it's already a slip knot, so you don't have to be too crazy about the weaving in of this side, but you know, just take your time. There's no rush, and then you could be good to go. So this would be how you make these. This is a smaller version for Barbie, I guess, and it looks really quite good, and you see the larger size sample that I did for practice. This is a really kind of a cool project. So this is the Tiles for Miles baby blanket shown on michaels.com, and this is how you exactly do it. Until next time, have a great day, and I'm Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Crowd. We'll see you again. Bye bye.